Jade and Chris. We know that Jade just filed for divorce from Chris last week after she claimed that he got caught cheating. And they currently have a 4-month-old baby together. And she ended up posting these conversations, I guess, that Chris had with other women. So this is Chris hitting up another girl in her inbox. And he said, not trying to be a perv or be too forward, but you are very attractive. Sorry, not sorry. I'm sure you might know by now, or maybe you don't follow my ex-wife, but she has a large following and we were on a reality show, but we are getting divorced. Now things just didn't work out. But anyways, if you're ever bored, hit me up, or you can even call if you really wanted to. And then he shares his phone number. I live in Naples, Florida, but always looking to make friends, although social media is probably not best for that. And then he sent his phone number, and he said, I was born and raised in Cali, though, San Fernando Valley area, moved to the Midwest when I was 18, and I ended up in Florida. Anyways, I hope to hear from you. And he said, I promise I'm not a scrub. Look at my profile now. I had to repost everything as it was all about an ex, but I promise you wouldn't be disappointed if you ever got to know me. Anyways, was worth a shot. And that's the thing, like, how are you gonna be hitting up women when your whole profile is you and your wife and your son that you share with your wife that you just had 4 months ago? I can't believe he's like full on telling his whole life story to this woman, and she hasn't even responded yet, and saying, oh yeah, my ex, I was on the show with her, she has a big following. So she was probably able to easily find Jade and then hit her up after she found out that she looked like she was still married to Chris, and she probably sent the receipts, and Chris got busted. And Tracy, Chris's ex and the mother of his daughter, she posted these messages that Jade sent someone, and she said, let's hope cancer takes your husband. And then here's a message from Jade to Tracy, Chris's first baby mama, and she says, does your ugly daughter live in Perry too? Why are we talking about people's kids? She has such an ugly attitude. And then Tracy posted this TikTok from someone talking about Jade's situation, and she said the only thing that could make this worse better would be if Jade signed a quit claim deed to Chris back in February 2025. So we actually talked about this a little bit in my last video. So Chris actually ended up taking out a $167,000 mortgage or loan out on the house, and he ended up signing all this paperwork in February, and Jade ended up having to sign on the paperwork, but she didn't do a quit claim deed like they're claiming. What she did is she signed to solely release her homestead interest, and what that means, according to AI when I looked into it, is it means that it's just her saying that if Chris doesn't pay back that loan, that they can kick her out. She can't try to like claim residency, like, oh, I've lived here for so long. That's her signing and agreeing that she'll leave if he doesn't pay that back. And I think he has to like 2031 to pay that loan back. And their house has like significantly increased in the value. Like when they first bought the house, I can't remember the exact amount. I want to say it was around $550,000. And now I looked it up on Zillow, and that house is worth $300,000 more than what they originally bought it for now. That house was definitely a good investment. And Chris posted, and he said single, and I'll explain one day, but not now. And Jade said the same. She posted those few receipts because she said she's eventually going to do a story time. And someone said, how do you fumble a baddie like Jade? Crazy. And he said, don't let appearances fool you. She cheated on me multiple times. And that's just what I'm saying. You know, they both cheated on each other. And one of the guys that Jade cheated on Chris with, Street Scholar, he's the one that I interviewed a few years ago. He's been trolling the hell out of Chris and Jade ever since it came out that Chris cheated on Jade. He posted some throwback videos of different Instagram and like FaceTime video calls they did together of Jade inviting him over.
Pool. I have a hot tub. Bro, literally, if you come over, hot tub.
Okay, all stuff that Chris paid for. This is all stuff that my husband paid for that I'm about to use to cheat on him with.
Pool. Tiki bars over there. It's not lit up, but come on, man.
The fuck? Who posts this shit that much? But tell me when. Tell me when. What? I said, tell me when. Slide through.
This weekend.
What day?
Cool.
Easy, slow, nice and quiet.
Bro, literally, if you come over, hot tub.
Alright, almost out.
Cool.
Sneaking out of Jade's house. And so here is a conversation between Jade and him. I think I showed these a few years ago, but if people missed that video of the guy that Jade cheated with, and she said, "You're here," because he posted pictures in Florida, and he said, "I was. Didn't I tell you I live here?" And she said, "You live in Naples." And he said, "No, I live in like another town close by." And she said, "I know you said you come here often, but I thought you lived up north. Are you a trust fund baby? JK." And I really don't think she was joking. I think, like, if he would have said, "I'm a trust fund baby," she would have been ready to leave Chris in a heartbeat at that point. Then he said, "Actually, I said I live here. I have a house in New York too, so I'm back and forth, and no, I'm broke as hell." And here's Jade sending him a picture of her acting like she's eating some cooter. And then he shared this conversation where Jade finally sent the Addy, and he said, "LOL, you sure?" And she said, "Yeah," and he sent a heart emoji. Then he eventually pulled up, and here's the thing, she talks so much about this pool and this hot tub, and then when he pulled up, he didn't even get to see any of that. She just took him straight upstairs, made him leave his phone downstairs. She took him into the bedroom, and one thing led to another. She cheated on Chris while he was in prison, and he got out, and he got his lick back. But let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments below, and thank you guys so much for watching.